Well, okay, so on tonight's call, we're going to go through landing pages, and I want to cover why you need them and what to look for. So the first thing I wanted to touch base on is what is a landing page, and here's some of our landing pages that we've created as an agency and some for ourselves as well. So in digital marketing, a landing page is slightly different to a website. I need you to understand that. It's a one or a two page. It's like a standalone web page, and it's specifically designed for a marketing advertising campaign. So when a visitor lands on this page, whether it's by a Google ad or by a Facebook ad or however they actually get there, whatever funnel you decide to choose, they landed on there on purpose, right? So it's for a specific reason and they have a specific call to action to them. So I'm just going to go through that for you about I want to break down what the objective is of it. So I think they're awesome. They're magical. Web pages are designed to drive a specific customer to take a specific action. So that's what I'm talking about. It's a call to action. So it drives your target audience. So the person with a problem, it makes them problem aware in the ad, and then they go, and the whole idea of the landing page's objective is to make them take action. So the whole idea is to get an exchange of details, and you can do this many different ways. It could be to sign up to something, could be to opt in, or it could be to make a purchase. And the idea is to give them something of high value in exchange of a detail. So the execution plan of an effective landing page is really to lead to conversion, so leading to sales. And I guess in this call, I kind of want to get really, really clear on the difference between not just a landing page, but a lead magnet, because that could often be called the same thing. So a lead magnet could be an ebook, or it could be a video series, training series. It could be something like that. That's what's a magnet to get them to want to do something. But you need a landing page to put the lead magnet on to get their details. Does that make sense? So if in an example, I could have a landing page and it could be to sign up to a free video subscription, or it could be to download a ebook. In exchange, I'm going to need your email. Okay, so then you're growing a database. Could be to make a cheap purchase. There's lots of ways you can use your landing pages. And really, before you begin, you need to understand the customer roadmap and where your landing page fits in. Now, this customer roadmap is not designed by Second Chance. This is by Ryan Deese, who's an amazing marketer. Lots of marketers use this as a reference. And really what we do is we look at the roadmap from cold to warm to hot. Now, I'm not going to break this right down now because there's lots of training in your training program where we go over cold and warm and hot campaigns. However, you really need to understand where your customer fits in this journey to create the right landing page for them. For an example, if I'm going to a cold market and they're right here, I need to attract them first. I need to get their consent before they go into warm. So it's going to be a very, very different offer. So when I'm going to a cold market, it's going to be a very different offer to a warm market. And then to a hot, which would be my raving fans, it's going to be a different offer again because they already know my product. So in this area, be more of an upsell product. So they're very, very different. So before designing it, you really need to understand, where does that person fit on my roadmap? Then you need to do what we call a market call out on your landing page. So your visitor, whoever jumps on this page, needs to know they're in the right place. So you make sure your call out to them is intentional. There's got an attention there. It's recognizable. And basically you're going to be filtering out any parties that won't benefit. And I've kind of got some examples here that we've done. So in our example, in here, we've got a call out. So it's very specific. And you'll see here, our call out here is it's specific for people who want to learn to become a digital marketer. So they want to learn digital marketing. So there's no point in you jumping on this landing page if you don't want to learn digital marketing. It's very clear. It says it twice here. Actually, you just scroll down. It says it 3 times. And on the ad set, again, it's the same. So I'm pre-qualifying people. The only people, the market call out here is, do you want to learn digital marketing? Okay. So it's very, very clear, and you need to be clear and specific, because I don't want 100 people jumping on my landing page. I actually want them to click through, and that's the analyticals we're looking at in the back end to make sure that our landing page is performing. And if it's not, well, that means the market call out, this part, isn't right in the first place. So the whole idea of this is it's going to filter out people that's not going to benefit. Okay, so they're not going to benefit. You don't want them to jump on there anyway. You want the people that are going to want to convert. So they're problem aware, and they're going to convert. They're going to download this series because they want to learn it. Again, in this example, this is an example of another landing page we've done for a client, and this highlights it's for Sydney brides. Okay, so this is a giveaway for brides. Now, if I'm not getting married, if I'm not in Sydney, there's no reason why I would jump on here, because I don't need to win a Sydney bride experience. So if I'm single, unless I want to win it for a friend, it's not applicable to me. Okay, so again, the call out is very, very clear, and it's important to have that message call out beforehand. You need to be clear and concise and easy to understand. So I see a lot of mistakes on landing pages. The biggest mistake I see is people try to make them look too professional. They try and almost make them look like a website, and that's not the goal of the landing page. The goal is that within 5 seconds, somebody should be able to answer these 3 things. What's in it for them? Why should they care? And what should they do next? So the best landing page has one message and one offer. So they're very clear, concise, and easy to understand. Here's an example of one we've done where we've got win a lawn mowing package, and then as you scroll down, it says the problems and why they should learn. This little thumbnail you can see here is a video of them explaining it. It's very clear. It's one offer, one message. I want my lawns mowed free for a year. My message is, my problem is that I don't have time to do it, and I want to win this. So it's a very clear, concise message. There's no messing around, and it's definitely a landing page. The next thing you need is a great headline. Again, I've said it again, you need to be clear and concise, and you really need a headline that's going to grab your reader's attention and tell them that they've really landed at the right place. So there's nothing worse than going on an ad and then you click on a landing page and you're lost, and we'll go through relevance soon. But you really want to be grabbing their attention by hitting their pain points. So like I was just saying in the other ad, what's the customer struggling with, and what product or service is going to alleviate that issue? What's going to ease that pain? So in this ad that I was just talking about, the whole ad set is around, and he talks about it in the video, is around, there's no time to mow my lawns. What are the things that you can't stand about mowing your lawns? And he even says, for me, it's getting the grass clippings everywhere and stuff like that. So it's really highlighting problem aware, and it really makes me want to win this, because this is solving my problems to having to get my lawns mowed. In this example of HubSpot, I really liked this example. HubSpot's a CRM that we use ourselves as a company, and I love it. In their landing page, it says there's a better way to grow. And this really hits the mindset of somebody that's wanting to expand their business. So it's very, very simple. It's a great headline that also catches a pain point, and then it's easy for me to opt in. So it was a really great example of a great landing page. You always need to have a call to action before the fold, meaning it's often a really good idea to have a couple of buttons there to give people the option to click and not have to scroll, because sometimes they'll bounce off really, really quick. So you need to tell the visitor exactly what they've got to do next. So we need to make the whole journey experience really, really simple and easy. And again, this is a program I use in the business, which is Xero. And in Xero here on their landing page, you can see they've got the opt-in here, the opt-in here, and they've got it quite a few more times down if I do scroll. But if I don't scroll, this is literally just a screenshot of what was on the first page, what I first saw. I had 2 call to actions, and they were very prominent for me. It was very easy to see what I needed to do. I didn't even need to read the rest. If you're a scanner, some people are scanners, they'll just look at the headline and just go straight to the call to action button. So it's really important you make that clear. And this brings me to the next question, is you need a contrasting button. Now, there's a lot of debate around this, whether it should blend in, whether it shouldn't. I actually had chats with our designer today talking about why I like my buttons to stand out. Now, this is one of our landing pages as well. You want your button to stand out against a background image. And for graphic designers, they might not love you for this, but again, it's so it pops, right? It's easy for me to go, yep, if I'm a scanner, I'm just going to press that button. So same as in that Xero, it really pops out. It blends in still, but I just want to press that button. And then you really want to have a call to action text on your button. So now as we flick through on this one here, it tells me try Xero for free trial. It tells me what that button's going to do. On this one, claim my discount. On this one, we've got download your worksheet here. We've even got the arrow telling you click it, download it. So the whole idea of a call to action button is giving someone a compelling command. So you're basically telling them exactly what that does. So just having a button like submit isn't really enough. You need to really say specifically what that button's going to do, and then they'll just do it. So sometimes we get in our own head a little bit. We think like marketers and not like the customer. But what I want you to remember is you are your best customer, okay? So when you have a great online experience, you've been a customer before, we've all bought before. What is it that you loved about that experience and what made it really easy? Here's the secret. If you have to jump through too many hoops to be able to get what you want, to be able to get that offer, you're not going to do it. You're going to stop. So when you're designing any funnel, any landing page, you want to create the most simple way to get what they want. What is the most simple way I can achieve for my target avatar to get what they want, right? What would I want? Would I want to go on a Facebook ad, add all my details, jump on a landing page, add more details that goes to another landing page, and then press a button? And then do I want that, or do I just want to press a button? So you need to think about that, think about the experience, and then design tailored to the customer experience, not designed tailored to you. Okay, as a marketer, take your marketing hat off and think of it as the customer experience. The next thing we recommend is social proof. So what works really well here are testimonials, and this is one of our pages that we've done for a client, and it's just the scroll down with what others are saying. You can see here they've got their little opt-in form. It's very basic and they work really well. You can have it as seen on TV if they've been featured somewhere. You can have logos, different business logos, different referencing, different subscribers, like 1,000 subscribers or whatever it is. You can track the visitors. So having these social proof points really gives the consumer, or the person that's landed on here, the potential buyer, a feeling of the risk being elevated, right? They're feeling a lot more safer because people are saying they like it, or it's sort of proven. They're seeing the results there. It's the same reason why we like to look at reviews before we go to a restaurant, or I love to read reviews before I go to the movies. It's the same reason why we need social proof on our marketing, okay? And this doesn't always happen right at the start. So for me, social proof should happen further down. So it's the detailed people that will like the social proof. They're the ones that'll keep reading. But you need to have your market call out at the top, and then you need to have call to action buttons before the fold and keep going through for the detailed people, because they're not going to want to scroll back up. The next thing you want to do is limit the navigation. So try not to distract the visitor's ability to navigate away from the page. Remember how at the start of this training, I said you don't want to make it look like a website. So by having too many tabs and things, that's not a great idea, because you're going to make them leave the landing page and go out. You create a brochure effect, and then they're going to start reading more and more and more, and it's going to lower your conversions. What you want to do is have one page, one offer, and literally just log in. And in this example here, they've done a really great job. It tells me exactly what it is. All I need to do is type in my postcode and get my quote. Very, very simple. And then from there, they're going to get more details from me. So again, you want to make it the most simplest way possible to get higher conversions. The next one is visual cues. So visual cues are really important. It's a subtle hint or a little nudge of what you want someone to do. So in this funnel that we've created, you can see we've got the arrows pointing down and it's saying, yes, I want to win a salon marketing engine. And it's literally got call to action button here, call to action button here. It pops with color. The arrow is pointing down what's included. So it's making me read more. It's telling me exactly what to do. These visual cues work really well. So whether it is a picture of an arrow, whether it's a video, whether it's a picture of somebody pointing down or telling them what to do, it's going to make the conversion a lot higher. And it's a really simple thing to do. So it's something I want you to start thinking about is how can I incorporate arrows, boxes, or other visual little things to draw my eye to the call to action. This is going to boost your conversions and it's going to make the landing page appeal much more to the buyer. It's going to make them scan and press the button, which is exactly what you want to do. And it's exactly what the buyer wants to do. They just want to get the information they've jumped on this landing page for, and you just want to be able to get their details to be able to give them more content. So to follow that up, a great image, an image says 1,000 words, okay? And a typical image of a representation of a product is really going to bump your conversions because people can then see what they're getting and they can visualize themselves doing it. So this is an example here where there's an example of the video, the picture of what this is all about, and it makes me kind of go, oh yeah, I could see myself using this. I'm using marketing stuff, but I can see myself using this marketing software. This is something I would use. And this is what we call a hero shot image. So you want to be able to make them jump in and go, oh yeah, I want that. Now, we don't use a great image all the time. Sometimes it's not needed. So when we go back to something like this landing page here, where I can see it's just a happy image, right? And all I want to do is go straight to there. Just depends on the planning of the funnel and the purpose. It depends on the product you're also selling on whether you want a hero image shot or not, because your hero image, as you can see, takes up a lot of the page. So then we've got relevant form fields. So it's really important that you don't ask for too much information. And again, it's talking about, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but it's talking about not having people jump into too many hoops. Now, people will get reluctant if they have to give away too much data, especially since last year with the whole Cambridge thing and everything that happened. People are starting to feel very uncomfortable to give away too much of their personal information, and personal data is worth a lot of money. It increases your chances that they're going to bounce off this page if you have too many options, too many fields for them to fill out. So in this example of this marketing management tool, all they need to do, I can see they've got a hero image right here. I'm looking at this going, yes, I really want it. And all I need to do to get this is put in my email and get started. So it's a really simple way for me to go, yep, I want to use this marketing management system. I love Monday actually. And I just type it in here and I can download it and receive it. What would turn me off this is I had to add my phone number, my business, how many employees. I'm going to go, nah, too hard. I'm not going to try it. I actually would do no, too hard basket. So I'm not saying to not ask for all these things, but try to keep it to a maximum of 3 if you can. Sometimes you need a little bit more information. Sometimes if you're giving something away that's worth a lot, you're going to need a little bit more. But realize the more fields you put into a landing page, the more you're going to increase the chances of people bouncing off that landing page. So my top tip here is to reduce the relevant form fields. Which brings me to the source relevance. And this is where I was talking about, you want to make sure when you're doing an ad, when you're doing any funnel, that the visitor knows that the landing page is linked to the ad they clicked on. You want them to have absolutely no questions or concerns that the ad that they just clicked on has taken them to the wrong landing page, or even worse, it's shady and shaky. So to overcome the barrier of this, what we recommend is you use the same text, the same imagery from the ad to the landing page. It should be very, very similar. So in this, you can see our ad set here. It's a very similar, So here you can see the image is exactly the same. The text is almost identical. So in the heading here, it's telling me it's a 3-part video training series, and then bang, right here on the landing page, it's telling me the same thing. The image is the same. It's the same fonts. I know that I've landed on the same page. Have you ever landed on something that looks shaky and it gives you that feeling of, I don't feel safe, this doesn't feel right? So by just getting that link wrong can really hit that thing in your brain that goes, no, I'm not opting in here, it doesn't look right, it looks dodgy. So your source relevance is really highly important. It's actually one of the things we measure when we're looking at the analytics. We look at how many clicks have come through our ad to how many have bounced off the landing page or how many have clicked through. And where you're looking at your measurements, you really want to have a 20% plus conversion there. So you want to have 20% click-through rate, at least. For me, if I get it over 50%, I'm like, yes. But yeah, over 20 is a great starting point for you to start looking at the data going, yeah, I'm doing something right here. And if it's lower than 20%, if you're looking at it and you're like, I'm only at 6 or 7% here, the first thing I do is check my source relevance, because here's what's happened. Either the image is wrong, or if you've got the video is crap, because the video, which is this bit, should be telling a story. So the first thing I do is go back to my ad, check my headline, check my wording, check my image, reference it to my landing page. Does it look the same? Is there any consumer confusion? No. Have I highlighted the pain points in both of them? Yes or no. Is the call to action button right? Yes or no. Is the video right? Am I hitting the pain points in that? Yes or no. So I simply check these off and edit them accordingly till I have the relevant score when I'm doing an audit to 100%. Needs to be 100%. So make your own checklist to mark it to 100%. When you know that you've made it, you're going to have a higher conversion rate, which is really keeping up with your brand consistency. So what I don't want you to do is throw logos everywhere. So it's a landing page. It's not a website. It needs to be consistent with your core brand. So the colors and the fonts are always the same, but you don't need to blast the logo everywhere. And it's one of the biggest mistakes I see in advertising. Before I was in digital marketing, I used to be in direct marketing. And there they said the same thing, but the biggest mistake that most businesses will make is they put their logo, because they're proud of it, nice and big everywhere. And then they lose the copy. Here is a secret. Nobody gives a flying pig. No one cares. Here's a secret. Nobody cares about your logo. Nobody cares about what your business is called. What they care about is what's in it for them. So here in these landing pages, they're very different, but they're still the same. So you can see the brand consistency here. You can see a very small logo, but my eye doesn't go there. You can see that we've got the same fonts, but slightly different. So this is a good example of same, but different. The privacy and T's and C's are also important. Privacy policies and T&Cs do play a part in people's mind. And like I was talking to you about earlier, is people are becoming more and more aware about giving away their personal information and their personal data. So by having the T's and C's attached, it makes people again feel trusted and feel okay. And this will boost your trustworthiness and boost your conversion rates. So Uber, as well as Second Chance, we put our T&Cs usually at the top as well as the bottom. So there's nothing to hide there. Now it's up to you whether you put it at the bottom, put it at the top, but don't not have it at all, because the people that like to feel a little safe, that need to just have that bit more assurance, a bit more security, they want to see this. If you don't have it there, they feel like they're hiding something. So it's always, you want to eliminate the reason why they shouldn't do it. You want to have all the reasons out there why they should do it. Now, mobile optimization is really important. So these days, people are jumping on their mobiles more than ever before. And if you haven't got mobile optimization, you're going to be missing out on your mobile traffic, which is huge. So your landing page needs to be mobile friendly. That includes all your images, all your forms, all your texts. All of these elements are going to be responsive, and you need to consider building a separate landing page specific for a mobile view. Now, when I say that you need to, we use a program called Kartra, and you can see, and a lot of programs, a lot of software out there will do this, you can see the mobile view. Now, if it's not mobile friendly, we don't use that format. So it's really important to test it first, check the scrolling, check how it looks on your mobile. If it doesn't look great, don't use it. Even if it looks amazing on your desktop, it must be mobile. It must be mobile friendly. If it doesn't look good on your mobile, your increased conversions are going to decrease very, very quickly, even if you have the most perfect landing page, because over 70% of people use their mobiles before going to a desktop. Now that is the end of landing pages. So I've thrown a lot of information out there. I want to just go over them again and just go over the ones that I feel are really important. So the ones that I feel are really important is the call to action button, just making sure you have the color on there, the text on there, and making sure that you have it before the fold. That's the first one. Having your call to action is so, so important, because there's no point having a call to action, a landing page without a call to action. The next one is having that great headline and having the market call out. Really, really important to feature these things. And then, of course, brand consistency. So I'm just going to stop my share now and open this up for any questions anyone might have. So I'm going to allow everybody to talk. How did we all go with landing pages? Do I have any questions on landing pages? Do you now know what to look for in a landing page, what works and what doesn't? Have any of you done landing pages before or created them? No questions, but you feel very enlightened? Awesome, Freya. Was there anything that highlighted that you didn't know before that now you're like, oh, I get that? All right, Kristen, you're unmuted. Did you want to say something?
Yeah. So for yours, do you have multiple landing pages for different ads you put out?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. I've just turned you back up. What did you say there?
Sorry,
You're right.
business. Do you have multiple landing pages for multiple ads?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that'll great question. So we do have multiple landing pages for multiple ads, because we may have several target avatars, but the same product. So for example, the digital marketing certification, in that we have 3 different target avatars. So we will have somebody that's a business owner that may want to learn digital marketing for their business. We'll have somebody that wants to upskill in their career and are ready for a career change. Or we'll have somebody that wants a side hustle, that is already happy in their job, but they want to make some money on the side as a digital marketer. So the advertising is all very, very different for the target market, because the age groups are different, their problems are different, and their solutions are different. And the landing page they're going to jump on is different, but the product's the same. Does that make sense?
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Any other questions? No questions. Awesome. Well, as always, these slides will be available to you in your Slack channel. So just reach out to Tam. She's more than happy to help. I can see she's on here, so I'm sure she's been taking notes. You're all more than welcome. I'd encourage you to start opting into things. What I mean by that, as you're learning digital marketing, the best way to learn is to actually have the experience. So if you see an ad on Facebook, jump on, have a look at their landing page, pop in your email, check the email you get back, check the quality of the landing page. The whole idea of that is to experience the consumer journey yourself, and then you can start rating what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it. What you learn from that is going to be really relevant when you go to build out your own landing pages as well, because you're going to be able to implement all the things you loved and not add in anything that you really didn't like. So start doing that. Start looking, start doing it, start collating it. As I showed you all last week, I showed you in my Google Drive, I have a folder there with resource material and research. Pop it all in your research folder because it always comes in handy. All right, everybody, if that's all the questions available, if that's all the questions everyone has for tonight, have a great evening. Tomorrow is Friday, which is always exciting. So I would encourage you to kick some goals tonight and tomorrow so you end your week strong. Start having a look at landing pages, start getting a feel for them. And I'm really excited for you to start playing and learning how to actually create landing pages because they're a bit of fun. So I will see you all on next Thursday's call. Keep submitting the awesome work. I love seeing it all. You guys make me so happy. I'm going to love you and leave you now. Bye.